And now we come to the fifth battle in the Wars of Beleriand, the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. Chapter 20 of the fifth battle, Nirnaith Arnoidiad. So we pick up where we left off with Baron and Luthien returning to Middle-earth and going into their own land near Osiriand on a little island that ends up being called the Land of the Dead That Live, because they died and, well, they're back alive. They're dead and they died and now they're back alive. Sorry. In those days, Maedhros, son of Feanor, lifted up his heart, perceiving that Morgoth was not unassailable, for the deeds of Baron and Luthien were sung in many songs throughout Beleriand. Yet Morgoth would not destroy them all, one by one, if they could not again unite. Yet Morgoth would destroy them all, one by one, if they could not again unite, and make new league and common council. And he began those councils for the raising of the fortunes of the Eldar that are called the Union of Maedhros. And of course, they now know that Thingol's got the Silmaril. They want it back. He won't give it to them. Maedhros is too busy putting this league together, and like Killigorm as Curufin, they're not happy. I remember them in the events of Baron and Luthien. They were involved. Turgon will not go to not Turgon, but Thingol will not go to war. But others do. Even the King of Gondolin, Turgon, goes to war. But this battle, everything goes wrong. Glaurung the dragon comes and wreaks havoc. Many of the elves are slain. Men, actually, those men that Morgoth had been that had sent among them, now turn on the elves and go to war with them. And guess what they get for them helping Morgoth? You know what his thanks is to them? He shuts them up in the land of Heathloom and says, "Yeah, I'm not going to give you all of Beleriand, even though I promised that to you. You're just going to get this, and all you can do now is just harass the women and the children and the old people in Heathloom, because all their men went to war and died." And that's what ends up happening, and many do become enslaved. Hurin is taken captive and set to by Morgoth in a chair high up in Thangarodrim, and so he can watch what Morgoth is going to do to his family, which leads us into the next tale that will follow this in the next chapter. So the Children of Hurin begins here, about here. The havens, of course, are destroyed, and Círdan and many of the people go and those that are left go on and dwell on the Isle of Balar, or in the Bay of Balar, where the mouths of Sirion are. And of course, some of the Noldor are taken captive by Morgoth and enslaved, especially one named Gwyndor of Nargothrond. So yes, this is a very disastrous and a very dark tale in a way, I guess you could say. There is a passage that I read in here that seems a little graphic. We're talking about the Balrogs came. Their leader is named Gothmog. Then Gothmog hewed him with his black axe, and a white flame sprang up from the helm of Fingon as it was cloven. Thus fell the High King of the Noldor, and they beat him into the dust with their maces, and his banner, blue and silver, they trod into the mire of his blood. A little graphic there, wouldn't you say? And we're going to see that, the Tale of Turin coming up is also a dark tale. The Children of Hurin is one of the darkest that Tolkien wrote. He doesn't describe things as too detailed, not like you would read in a Stephen King novel. He would never go that far. But some dark stuff, definitely. And originally this tale was in the Book of Lost Tales, but he never really wrote it out. And we wouldn't really see any kind of written form of this until the Sketch of the Mythology in 1925. And that, of course, ends up growing over the years as he's writing it. But yeah, this story kind of bridges the gap in between, Baron and Luthien and the Children of Húrin. Like I said, part of the Children of Húrin even starts here. And maybe one day I'll do a review and analysis of that. But yeah, not really much else to talk about there. But Morgoth, it seems, is winning. What will happen? We'll see. But the messengers are sent out into the west, but none except one returns. Although before I do close off here, there is one other thing that happens that I should mention. It will become important later, as before Torgon leaves, as Huor is dying, he says to Torgon, "Go now, Lord, while time is, for in you lives the last hope of the Eldar, and while Gondolin stands, Morgoth shall still no fear in his heart." But Turgon answered, "Not long now can Gondolin be hidden, and being discovered, it must fall." Then Huor spoke and said, "Yet if it stands but a little while, then out of your house shall come the hope of elves and men. This I say to you, Lord, with the eyes of death. Though we part here forever, and I shall not look on your white walls again, from you and from me a new star shall arise. Farewell." And Maiglin, Turgon's sister son, who stood by, heard these words and did not forget them, but he said nothing. And so Maiglin is going to be even more jealous and evil than before, and we are going to see that he, here in a little bit, is going to become a big, major problem. But that is another tale for another day. So that is all for today and for this week. I will be back here in about a week, or maybe a little bit more a week, with the with the Tale of Turin Turambar. And yeah, hope you enjoy this and my last video. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all later.